Hey, New York Jet fans from all around the world. Welcome to Laugh Through the Turbulence, a New York Jets podcast, the show that delivers you all your Jets content. Here are your hosts, John, Adden, and Monty. All the best to the New York Jet fans. J-E-T-S, Jets, 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 go Jets.
Go Jets.
What a game. Wow.
Do it.
Exactly.
Do it.
Do it.
Exactly what we've been waiting
Yeah.
for.
Fuck the
Do it.
Patriots.
Do
Fuck
it.
the Patriots.
Patriots. Fuck the
So
Patriots.
glad. So glad.
Fuck the Patriots.
And this is extra good, too, because we sent Bill Belichick packing with a nice, big, fat, decisive win at the end of last season. And then now we just pissed all over his grave with this one. Beautiful.
It might have been one of my favorite victories to watch in person. And the reason why is this, right? One, it was just utter fucking dominance, right?
Oh, yeah.
On both sides of the ball. But two, it looked sustainable and like it could continue. And three, I have so much hope. You know what I mean? Like those three things, right? It was just all of that, right? There's really nothing you can complain about outside of Morgan Moses being out 2 to 4 weeks, right?
Yeah, it sucks. Sprained MCL.
The fashion who came in and he looked pretty good.
But you know what I'll also say just on that note? I mean, that even feels different because the past 25 years, that's a season-ending injury. Right. So even like the way he was on the turf and rolling around, that looked awful. And then to see it be 2 to 4 weeks, I mean, that's something that never happens either.
And on top of that, the fact that it not just that it was 2 to 4 weeks, the fact that it was to a player that we immediately had a high level replacement for.
Exactly.
Usually when that happens, it's blown out for the whole year, and it's someone that we have not even a semblance of a competent replacement for.
I want to say something too. Of the 5 that were starting to start the year, he was actually probably the weakest link, and he was still good.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's
Tippmann's actually, I think, rated as the best center in the league right now. I could be wrong on that, but that's a lot. Like I was checking at some point, I think he's the best center in the league right now per PFF.
Yeah, and I think according to their week 3 grades, he graded out as the third best offensive lineman. Yeah,
he's number 5 right now. It's McCoy, Humphrey, Andrew Anderson from Buffalo, and Baltimore's Lindenborough. Yeah,
he also had the third highest PFF grade of any Jets player in that game.
Yeah, he was a great pick.
Yep.
Yeah, he's looking like your center of the future, your Nick Mangold replacement and Kevin Mawai replacement and all that. But I don't know. We had a blast coming to the game. Sorry to the guy that showed up who asked for a poncho, even though it was perfectly sunny. And I was like, no. Dude, look at the weather.
Yeah, bro.
I appreciated that.
We clearly didn't bring it. Yeah.
Yeah. We didn't need it. But I don't know. So when we start with Monty, why don't you give your big thoughts on the game?
I mean, well, it was just first of all, it was nice for once to be in a game where there was literally almost zero worry, right? Like there was never a point where I was watching that game like, damn, we might lose. Damn, this might at some points it was like, okay, like don't blow it, cautiously optimistic. But we were just whooping that ass all day long. Beautiful. It was beautiful. And how about Aaron Rodgers, man? Just vintage.
What about Aaron Rodgers?
Vintage performance from Aaron Rodgers. I mean, I'm sure you're going to say the PFF whatever grade. I think he had like at 82, but first of all, he comes out swinging.
Better than the grade gave him credit for.
Exactly. Comes out swinging, right? So the first thing we do instead of I think Hackett heard our complaints and our prayers because he comes out, It doesn't do the same run up the gut that we always do. What's he do? Play action. Boom. Pass, completion, works out perfectly, looks great. So that looks good. Also, interestingly enough, per PFF, Aaron Rodgers has 0 turnover-worthy plays this year. 0. And in the entire history of the Jets since PFF has been doing analysis, so since 06, so going back almost 20 years now, in that entire time, not one single Jets quarterback has gone 3 weeks straight without turnover worthy plays. So he already through 3 games is one of the best, or on track to be one of the best Jets quarterbacks that we've had in decades. Yeah. Just, it's just incredible to see. It's just like you look at some of the throws, right? Like I went back and watched like a little bit of like film and stuff like that on it. Just picked up, saw some YouTube clips and just some of his throws. Yeah. There's throws where he's faking out his own people, where it's like, he changes the play real quick, like that throw to Lazard in the beginning. Like Brees looked back like, wait, I was supposed to get the ball. If you relook at the play, like Brees kind of like is faked out. The linemen are all run blocking. Everyone thinks it's a run play. Rodgers switched it up at the last second. Lazard was on the same page. Boom, first down. And then how about his mobility, right? Like everyone's like, oh, he's a statue. He's not really moving around and this or that. He's old. He's 40 years old. Not going to run. The under-over on his run was
second play.
Was a yard and a half. And he, had multiple first downs, I think, on the ground.
First down.
Yeah, it's just beautiful to see, man. And I'm just really glad that I was there to see it. What do you guys think?
Go ahead, Don.
Yeah, I mean, I think, all of that I agree 100% with. Rodgers looked great. I think, everybody looked excellent. It was exactly what you wanted. It's exactly what a team as talented as the Jets should do to a team like the Patriots, right? And so that's what we got to see. Looking at this from kind of a higher level, one of the things that I really, really appreciated about this game is that the Jets finally on offense and defense broke tendency, right? If you look at the first drive, 7 out of the 8 first plays were passing plays, right? When have we seen that? The second drive, I have the drive summary here in front of me, and it's just to see it play out. It was their first touchdown, right? The first play, 11 yards, Braylon Allen. Second play, 5 yards, Braylon Allen. 2nd and 5, 11 yards to Rucker. 1st and 10, they throw the ball. There's an unnecessary roughness penalty on New England. Then the next play, 10-yard rush with Brees. Next play, incomplete pass, shot to Garrett Wilson. Next play, 2nd and 10, 11-yard pass to Gibson. Back to first down, touchdown to Allen Lazard. Right? That kind of play calling is something that we haven't really seen, right? Additionally, on the defensive side of the ball, they finally started blitzing. And I think one of the things that you look at just moving forward is now this gives opponents a lot to prepare for, right? You can't just prepare for a team that blitzes less than 20% of the time. Now this is on film. Now you have to prepare for it. Now you can't just say, hey, listen, if they blitz on the 17% of the time, we'll figure it out in game. Now you have to worry about it. On the offensive side, for defensive coordinators, you can't just focus on first down, they're going to run the ball. If we're solid on 1st and 2nd down, they're always going to be in 3rd and long, right? So this is something that I think, like John said, is sustainable and something that they need to build on. And the final thing that I'll say about this game is that it's great to see that every week they've gotten better and better and better, right? Week 1 looked terrible. Week 2 was better. Week 3 looked exponentially better, right? And so if they keep building sequentially like this, I think the sky is the limit. So really good to see what happened on Thursday.
And getting better at weaker points. Just on that note, really quick, the yards allowed has dropped every single game so far this season. So for rushing yards allowed. So we started off getting ran the hell over by Jordan Mason, and then this last week not so much.
Yeah. To be fair, Patriots are pretty banged up and have a shitty O-line, which is why Drake May is not going to be in the lineup for a while, regardless, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to give you some stats on this defense, right? Okay. Obviously, 7 sacks on 33 dropbacks, but 15 QB hits is the big one, right? Because that's the real – I mean, pressure was I have that somewhere here. Hang on. It was pressure on 29 of those 33 drops. So basically every dropback had some pressure on it. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, and 14 hurries, and I guess the hits or whatever. But the QB hits are different because like that could be on like a broken play or whatever it is, right? Still, it's a lot of pressure, But yeah, the running thing was good. I want to focus on the offensive side of the ball because I know I figured the defense after the first week, which was really the thing that was like of question, right? I knew the defense would figure out. Ulbrich would figure it out. They'll be fine, right? The offense, count the guys who had attempts at them, right? 1, 2, 3. There's 8 people that got worked, with at least 2 catches. I think Rutger was the lowest, and Gibson too. Which it sucks that Corley wasn't really involved, but at this point, the fuck cares because like 8 different receivers, right?
Yeah, but it's kind of good because he's like a secret weapon we haven't unleashed yet.
Yeah, he is. But like he and Gibson kind of overlap, right? If that makes sense in terms of just like the body type and like what special kink that they have, right, or whatever it is. But Conklin, welcome back, Conklin, right?
Best game of I think one of his best games
career.
His career.
Yeah. He had no touchdowns last year, which is crazy. And he still had no touchdowns, but still great. The Garrett Wilson touchdown was crazy, seeing that that's the first rounder that caught a touchdown from Rodgers ever.
First rounder to ever catch a pass from Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. And Gonzalez is a good corner, by the way. Gonzalez is a very good corner, and there's nothing you can do about it. They're gonna figure. And Rodgers said at the end of the game, like once 5 and I get on the same page, oh my god.
Isn't it crazy that he is still doing things for the first time in his career, even after such a long and storied career as his? Like he still just threw his first touchdown pass to a
first rounder. Not just a
first time.
First rounder.
Yeah, first time to a first rounder in his career, and he's 40. That's nuts.
Yeah, it might be receiver, but I'm pretty sure it was first rounder. That was the whole thing, right?
Yeah. I don't think any of his tight ends have been first rounders.
Yeah, or
Jimmy Graham? Was Jimmy Graham a first rounder?
No, he was undrafted, Jimmy Graham.
You sure about that? Actually, I would think Mercedes Lewis would be the one, right? If anything.
Yeah.
Right. And no running backs for sure, right? No running backs for first round.
Yeah, Jimmy Graham was
no, never mind. It's
round
receiver. It's not first rounder because Mercedes Lewis was a first rounder.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, first round wide receiver.
Good to check though on that one, right?
Yeah.
I was right to go to that name, right? Which is weird, right? John was right. Insert. And all that. Will McDonald, 5 sacks for the year. It's pretty good, right?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm taking it with a grain of salt. We played 2, not so great teams so far. And, like a couple of those sacks have kind of been like, it's a little bit of he kind of fell into some luck there, with a couple of those. So, but yes,
he's second in the league in sacks right now. Second in the league.
As far as what the stat sheet says, yes, but by my count, he's got 3.5 where he's actually like doing stuff. Like he's like where he actually beat the man in front of him, went and got a sack, which is still great. That's still a great number.
5 sacks, just 1.5 on Aiden Hutchinson. Just saying.
Yeah. So let's see. Let's see where he's at. Vikings, Buffalo. Teams
Yeah,
like
I mean,
like that,
I want to see him, have a game like he did against the
which
Titans
is
or
not
the
far from now.
Patriots, against Buffalo. Then I'll be like, okay, he's a
Or
Rodgers,
honestly,
you
even
know?
the Vikings, they're playing
Yeah.
lights out right now. Sam's not really getting hit that much.
He got
Although
hit last game.
he did last game. He got
did,
a
yeah,
nice hit. He was out for a little bit, but he came back. But other than that, I haven't really seen him get really knocked around. So let's see us be the ones to really knock him around, and then I'll be a little more like apt and exuberant to give Will his flowers.
Even though the Vikings game is not for a little while, and I already put my bet in like preseason and all that, like I actually like that the Vikings are getting all the good games out now. I think they're gonna embarrass Darnold in the UK. I think they are, but
I hope so.
But yeah, let's see. I guess we could all do like an MVP. There's really no bad in this game, right? On one play, can you name one player that maybe stood out and you're just Greg the leg for missing a kick?
That's what I was going to say, is he missed that kick. Other than that, I mean, I don't think you could really fault anybody.
Did it even matter? Did it even matter?
It doesn't, right? But at the end of the day, if you're asking for one, he'd be the only one.
If he missed the kick last year, it would have been, oh, fucking get this guy out of here. But now this year, it's like, man, he missed the kick. Sorry, because we'll score more points.
Has he missed 2 field goals this year or 1?
I think he's just missed
one.
I think it's just one. Yeah.
Yeah, I have to replace him. Actually, you know what? I'm not gonna replace him for my kicker for a couple fantasy teams. No, I'm not gonna do it. I like Greg.
I thought about that too, but I'm like, first of all, our kickers really like. Am I gonna pull a guy that kicks that many more field goals off waivers? I don't know.
Boswell's got 10 for 11, which is nuts. And Brandon Aubrey's got a 65-yarder this year, he's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, he's insane.
Yeah. All right. So I guess everyone go through a highlight of someone they're proud of for this win.
Let's see.
Yeah, there's so much to pick from.
I mean, let's do this. Ignore Rodgers, who was absolutely lights out perfect.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not
all that.
Because
Rodgers, it would definitely be him, right? That gave you hope. Like, that looks like a top 5 quarterback. You know what I mean? Yeah. And maybe higher. Like it's crazy. His MVP odds. I will just say this before you guys, as you think about it, I think he's top 5 for MVP odds right now. He's top 5. Although right now it probably looks like Josh Allen, to be real.
Yeah. Josh Allen is way ahead, but Aaron Rodgers is 4th.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm gonna go with Braylon Allen. Still doing what we want him to do. I think I've said it. I've been beating the drum on this. I think the Jets' backfield needs to be utilized in a manner similar to the Lions with Montgomery and Gibbs. I think Brees, in that Gibbs role is great. I think Braylon Allen as that, first and whatever, short yardage, whatever, power back role. And then, you don't need to put a million carries on Brees. He's not really, in my opinion, built for that anyway. I think it's a much better as a 1-2 punch scenario. And I think Braylon Allen showed that he's ready to handle that level of workload. He led, it was only by 1 yard, but he led the team in rushing. He's still catching passes. He's getting us yards he's getting us like 5 yards every freaking time. It's like every time you see him running, you're never seeing him get bottled up. You're never seeing him get too kind of forced back. Even in one play where like they had him kind of dead to rights, he at least made it back to the line. He's catching passes. I just he had a great. I think he was the second or third highest Jet in terms of PFF grade coming out of this game.
He's the number 1 running back per PFF with guys with minimum 10 carries.
Well, there you go. That for sure. And then also just as far as the Jets in this game, he was one of the top graded Jets in this entire football game. So just keep it up, kid, and just keep doing what you got to do, man. I love to see it.
He's fucking insane. Go ahead, now. Who do you got?
Yeah. So it isn't one person. I'm going to give this collectively to the coaching staff. I think that the coaching staff, right, every time they lose, they win a close game, this staff gets ripped to shreds. But going into this game, they had a very good game plan. They were prepared. They took it to the Patriots, whistle to whistle, opening kick to the end of the game. They dominated every facet of the game. Hackett came out with an actual game plan that wasn't just run with Breece Hall on first down, run with Breece Hall on second down, 3rd and 9.5, and let Aaron Rodgers bail us out. Different formations, they're using motions, they're using different personnel groupings. And I think that is something that just really impressed me because we haven't seen it. So, and old break just for turning up the heat. So I think the entire coaching staff gets a lot of credit. This could have been a disaster of a game if they weren't prepared, and they were, and they went out and took it to the Patriots. And I think a lot of that has to do with the coaching.
Yeah, and who would have thought after the first week that we have a better record than the Niners?
Right.
Yep.
Well, in fairness, they're going through a shit.
After the first week, though, that's what I'm saying. After the first week, Niners look like the best team in football, right?
Mm-hmm.
Utterly dominant all around, and they dropped 2.
I think they still are that team. I think they just are.
They're banged up. They're banged
really
up.
Banged
They're not really banged up. I mean, besides Jermaine and then a little Morgan Moses here, they're not really banged up.
Right.
Okay. So I'm going to try and stick with 2 sides of the ball here. I'm going to go Alan Lazard in the front just because he had a couple catches, and he had the yak, right?
Mm-hmm.
On that one play. That was phenomenal, right? And he broke a lot of tackles on that. And then even on the touchdown, I mean, he's being pulled by the thread of a jersey that looked like it was going 10 yards, right? And they scored that touchdown. But hey man, he opens shit up, right? He gets open. And it really helps that Mike Williams is fucking back. Welcome back, Mike Williams, right? So I kind of want to give it to both of them. Garrett's gonna explode at some point. He's gonna have one of those games that's I don't know, let's call it 50 fantasy points. It's just coming, and it could come on Patrick Surtain this coming week, and we'll talk about that in the next episode. Defensively, I'm still gonna give it to Quincy, man. He might be the best. I think it's him and Fred Warner at this point.
Yeah, they're all over the place.
All over the place, and he's handling the mic so fucking well.
Right.
It kind of makes me think that Mosley is not coming back, to that role next year. He's still. I would still rather have CJ in the lineup right now, but I think they're set at middle linebacker for at least another year until Quincy gets the fucking $20 million a year contract, right?
Yeah, our linebackers typically, because I haven't followed this on defense that much with the draft. Are they typically are you typically able to pull one out that's a start right away guy? Or
yeah. So the way that works essentially, so it's not a premium position. You could get probably the best middle linebacker in the draft in the middle of the draft, no question, and maybe even later. And what's crazy? The earliest recent middle linebacker drafted, I believe, is Micah Parsons, and that's not a middle linebacker anymore.
Right, he's an edge rusher now.
He's an edge rusher now for some fucking reason. They were
he's good at it. So
high school, you're a running back. Nah, you're a middle linebacker. Nah, you're an edge guy. Wow, it worked. Think about how much of an accentuation that is for his salary, right? I'm going to be a running back. I'm going to have maybe a 3-year career, make bleed for $10 million a year in my second contract. No, middle linebacker. Okay, doesn't really still get paid, but okay, edge rusher. Okay, I'm going to be the highest paid defensive player in the league.
You're an athlete. You're an athlete.
Yeah. I would pick him first probably for dodgeball over any football player in the league.
Yeah.
Besides maybe Mahomes because he's dodgeball, right? Throw it, right?
Yeah. You need a quarterback as number one, but your number 2 would be someone that can catch their ass off and.
He could probably really hurt you with the dodgeball, though, Mike. Actually, that's a fun game. If you had to assemble let's do this with the Jets. Fuck it, because we have a little time before final thoughts, right? If you had to assemble your let's say it's 4-person dodgeball team with the Jets, right? And we're totally putting this in there, right? For the company. What's your foursome basically looking like?
Well, it's Tyrod, it's DJ Reed, it's Tyrod, DJ Reed. Let's go with Quincy and Garrett.
Okay. Adnan,
Yeah.
you want to
Yeah.
shuffle out anybody there?
I would probably go. Man, I mean, definitely Garrett. I would go.
All right, you're too slow. All right,
I
fuck
mean,
it.
Yeah.
Tyrod is mobile and he can
Tyrod is
throw.
mobile and can throw.
Yeah, but he's older.
I think Braylon Allen too. I mean,
Yeah, there you go.
you know, Michael Clemens. Like how hard can he throw a dodgeball? You know,
Yeah.
You could throw
so
a
kind of those three. I'd just be worried about Clemens catching it. That's all I'd
Right.
be worried about.
You don't think Clemens
You
can
know.
catch a ball?
I mean, not as well as other guys you could pick.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
as well as like DJ Reed, for example, or Michael
All right.
Carter too.
All right, fuck it. I got you guys. Ready for this? I'm going Will McDonald.
Mm-hmm.
That guy could dodge traffic. He could dodge a ball, right? I'm going Brees, okay? Because Brees, I mean, he's lightning fast, right? I'm gonna go Braylon Allen too, right? And then I'm probably gonna go Conklin just because that's intimidating to look at.
That big freaking bushy mane coming
Yeah.
out of his head.
Yeah. Jets dodgeball team. But anyway, enough of that
Nice.
crap. Let's go to final thoughts. Adnan, you can lead it off since you struggled to give me 4 for a dodgeball team.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, this game is such a, I kept saying it when we were there. We've been dreaming of nights like that, right? We've been waiting so long for something like that to happen that also is, like John said earlier, sustainable. Some of the Jets wins over the past couple of years, you're like, wow, they beat the Eagles. Can they do that again? They rolled the Texans. Can they do that again? Right? But this team looks like it's built to not just sustain this, but continue gaining momentum. Right? And so I'm just really, really ecstatic as to how things looked on Thursday. Again, it was all facets of the game except Zerline, who, I'm sure will be fine. But it was just something that we've been waiting for, and hopefully it continues, and I'm confident that it will.
Cool. Monty, go for it.
Yeah, man. I mean, you love to see it. It's just a Jets whoop-ass blowout win, something I have not seen in a very long time, and something I haven't seen and felt it was something that was replicatable, right? It's like even if we did have a great game, it was it's just a fluke. This shit was not really a fluke. Now, that being said, we did play a Pats team who was projected to lose, who was projected to be one of the worst teams in the league. So, it's with a grain of salt, and we got to, pump the brakes just a little bit on the Jets are the best, Super Bowl bound, all that shit. I don't think so still yet. I think we still have a lot of proving ourselves. This was a fantastic first step on the road to proving exactly what we are. I don't know exactly what we are yet. So we'll see. Came out a little bit slow, but now things seem to be picking up. Hopefully we can carry this momentum over into another victory against the Broncos, who we'll talk about in the next episode, but aren't anything super special to me. But they do have some similarities, and they do have some ways where they may or may not be able to exploit some things against us. But ultimately, all in all, man, what a fantastic game. It was great to see it. Glad we got to watch it. Glad we got to see it live. Just the energy, the stadium, everyone was super pumped. It was just a great experience, and I hope that it's not the last time we're feeling like this year. I hope it's just the beginning of many more to come.
Yeah, I think it's going to keep going. One of my favorite moments in the stadium was actually looking at the Patriots fan that was behind us, about a row or two. They got a first down in like the third quarter or whatever it was, and he was like, "Woo, first down!" And then like looking at his Jet buddies and just kind of chuckling a little bit, and just got back down and like sipped his beer. Like there was nothing to cheer about, man. Like they demolished them. Oh, that felt so good. Yeah, I want more of that, but I don't know. It's pretty fucking sweet, of a regular season win just to do that to the Patriots.
Hell yeah.
I know it's 2 in a row against the Patriots like that, right? Because the first one was pretty much like that too. But we went into the game. We had the better quarterback. We had the better team on paper. You expect domination, right? And you're at home, right? And Jet Life came to play, right? That was just really cool to see. It was just we left very happy, and we didn't really want to leave. You know what I mean? And even the season ticket holders in our section were saying the same thing. Like this is what it's supposed to be. I think it's safe to say this team can be a Super Bowl contender at this point. From going through 3 weeks, just because besides the Bills, no one, and I guess Kansas City because they get all the ref calls. No one really looks like it. I mean, Minnesota. I don't think that's sustainable on that side for undefeated. I don't think the Seahawks are anything special. They're undefeated, right? The Ravens barely got by the Cowboys. I mean, they dominated in the beginning, but they almost let them come back, and I made some money on that comeback. I don't think I don't know. I don't see it from too many other teams in the league, and we do pretty good against that Josh Allen guy. We don't
at home.
We get them at home first, so we can wait a little while for that, and the schedule's still relatively easy going through, right? I don't know. I'm really proud of this team. I'm proud of Rodgers for looking really, really suave, and he was so electric. It just feels good to finally have a quarterback on our team, that can play at that level.
I know.
Yeah, we saw like itty bitty glimpses of it in these last 12 years or so. Like not 12 years, lifetime, right? I mean, we saw Vinny. We saw some Fitzpatrick magic every once in a while. We saw like 1 or 2 games of Zach Wilson where he was just like playing out of his fucking bird, right? And Darnold too, right? We don't see it, so it's nice to see it. Let's keep it going. Keep it going.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I think that's it for us on this one. It's just fuck the Patriots. It's just fuck the Patriots. Fuck
Hell
the
yeah.
Patriots! Fuck the Patriots!
Yeah, what he said.
Yeah, I concur.
Peace.